Sun up on the dock, rod in my left hand, cooler in the hatch, bare feet in the sand. Push off slow where the cypress lean, little blue kayak cutting through the green. Bobber on the surface, spin drift. I got a bent back chair and a line that lifts. I'm gonna find me a base.
This right here is a 6-year review of my Old Town PDL 106 kayak. Off we go, launching the kayak. My pedal drive and stick it in my car. Then I take my tackle box and I stick it in. Now I need my battery. The battery obviously is what's going to run that 360 light. Then I have this, which has my anchor, as well as my cutting board, pliers, and of course I bring my chair. Don't want to forget my vest, my camera stuff. Okay, this line's, see, it's getting hit now. Just take it, take it. It's not that hard. So I have this little contraption here, 2 pieces to protect the paint on my car. Basically, it's this a very soft piece. And then we have this. It's kind of a thick carpet that protects the car, more of the car. All right, here's the boat. The back of the boat is lined up about in the middle. Doesn't matter that much. Now I'm just going to lift the top of the boat here. Just like that. Grab it in the hole and lay it down. Let it come here, lift it up. All right, now I just got to put the tie downs on. And then again, it goes under the Yakima bar. Then you pull it tight. It's okay with me. All right, in my Old Town kayak, as we can see, that has happened over 6 years of me always lifting it up on that and also dragging it a little bit. Okay, as you can see underneath there, more scrapes, but most of those are just surface scrapes. Here are the scrapes on the side. Not as much on this side. Few underneath. Otherwise, it looks pretty doggone good, especially for 6 years. And this is amazing, the rudder. It works great. We're on Lake Levon, and you're probably looking at the boat, the seat and everything, saying, how in the world does it look so good? Especially since I catch so many fish, and some of the fish are so huge, and they get slime everywhere, you know? Well, I'll tell you why. Because when I bring the boat in, especially after I've caught a lot of fish, or certain times of the year the water kind of stinks, I'll rinse it off. Primarily to get the stench off, especially since I'm keeping it in the garage. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm keeping it rinsed off of yuck and muck, and I'm storing it in the garage. All right, so I said I was gonna go over the things, likes and dislikes, but I want to start with what I've had to repair in the kayak. And frankly, there's only one thing, that's the prop pin. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is the seat. Sitting in this I've sat in this for over 8 hours and been very comfortable. It is, I couldn't even ask for a more comfortable seat, to tell you the truth. And it breathes because it's this mesh. It's very functional because it's got a pocket underneath here. Now, the one thing, it is 6 years old. It is in the Texas heat when I'm fishing. Otherwise, I store it in the garage. But there is, not sure if you can see it, there is right here. You can see the stitching starting to fray a little bit. I would say I have another this season for sure, but maybe I have one more season after this before I apply this thing called 303. It's really just an Armor All protectant. So as you can see, there's a little bit of wind, like I say, between 10 and 15 miles an hour. But I'm going to show you how easy it is not only to stand up in the kayak, but to cast and do other things. So I got up, no problem. You know, when you lift one foot, the boat rocks, but that's okay. I just casted. Now I'm going to pull it in, but I got to steer this out of here because wind's blowing me into that area. I'm going to go fish along that bank. And I'm also going to, okay. So what else do I dislike about this kayak? I guess the one thing is this right here, the thing that controls the rudder, it has this knob that you're supposed to be able to screw tight and keep it in place. The only problem with this is even at the very beginning, when I would do that, it would keep it in place at the very beginning, but it really didn't help because of the wind and the currents. You constantly have to make micro adjustments on this, which is okay. That's not a problem. But now this thing that you're screwed down tight doesn't work, doesn't stay. I'm sure I could somehow do some type of adjustment, but I've decided I don't care because I never tighten it down anyway. I don't know if you can tell the wind, but it's quite windy. I'm gonna get up here towards the front of the boat, pick up the 10-pound weight, take it off this. I'm gonna throw it high. All right, so one of the best things about this kayak, which when it came out, I don't think there was that many that had this, but I think all of them do anymore, but it's this forward-facing rod holder. Just makes it really easy to stick it in there and bait up your stuff. You don't have to worry about holding it across your lap. Or part of the reason I only came out with a couple of poles is, I guess this is true with all kayaks, not just this kayak. Now I just put this pole right here. This light here is designed to hold the pole, not for long periods of time necessarily, but I'm going to do that because now I don't have to worry about what's behind me when I cast. That's the one thing that makes casting a little bit more difficult in a kayak. And if I have 4 catfish poles and 3 bass poles, I'm not going to be able to lay them all down there. I think I have a fish on this. No, I think I'm stuck. Well, the one thing I really love about the kayak that has really turned out to be amazing is the instant reverse. If you have a fish and it's, you're way up there and they're trying to get your line wrapped around something, you can just immediately start going backwards. It really helps to pull the fish out. It helps to guide you, especially when you're in tiny little areas like this, if the current's doing something to you. A lot of drives don't have instant reverse. If you're getting a kayak and you're looking to do bass fishing, it's almost a must to get. So I definitely like the instant reverse. So here's the other thing, my phone, it's attached to me right there. Got this little lanyard, retractable string, got a pouch. So I'm not gonna lose the phone. Phones are very, very expensive. And for the most part, I'm pretty doggone good at keeping track of my phones. But when I caught that 22-pounder, I didn't realize it, but I had dropped my phone. And if it wasn't for this, it would have gone in the water. Okay, other things that I'm impressed about with this kayak, the foot pedals. I thought these would wear out. They haven't worn out, not at all. They're just in good condition as when day I bought it. The other thing that I knew would wear out, I would have bet a decent amount of money, are these pads. These pads are in excellent condition. I drop baits there, all the catfish stuff is there. I scrub it pretty hard, trying to keep it clean. It's absolutely amazing how well that's held up. Okay, so what else do I like about the boat? I like the storage. The front hatch there has plenty of room. I could fit my PFD in there. I have a 650 watt battery that if I'm out here, that if I plan on spending it all night, I bring to support my other battery that I put underneath my seat here. Not directly under it. There's a storage cabinet right behind the seat. Let me just show you that real quick. Everyone probably knows it's right here. And I put other things. Usually I put my a dry bag in there that holds all my headlamps stuff. Sometimes I put my extra camera gear in there. Holds plenty of stuff. The weight capacity, I think, is 350 pounds on top of what the standard gear, the pedal drive, and your seat. Also have my light bar, white, red, 3 different levels of white. My rear light on here in a second. After I put this away. And I'll put my batteries right in this compartment for easy access. I'm going to cast this right up against there. Oh, that was a good cast. That's such a good cast. I'm going to cast this right up against there. Oh, that was a good cast. That's such a good cast. Okay, now the light. So I bring my seat up so I can reveal the little hatch that I have to get to. Put this down here for the moment. That's all my camera equipment. Want to be careful that doesn't fall off. I usually put it right there. Then all I do is plug in the light. Plug it in, then it stays. Yep, good. Now we're ready for some nighttime fishing. That was 9.99 kilograms once I lifted them all the way up. If that's just 20-some pounds, he definitely feels heavier than that. Got a big belly. All right, you can go whenever you're ready. Okay, the front storage is pretty large. It's not super huge, but I have a vest in there. I also have a dry bag that has multiple headlights in it that are made by Light Bar. Has red and white. It gets up to 1500 lumens in omnidirectional thing. It's not focused, but it's great when you're just trying to look what you're doing in the boat. I also have in that dry bag, I have some snap-on lights that are 1000 to 1500 watts that I can mount to either one of these handles, and it shines that way. And I have when I mount it to the front, shines in the front. And if I'm trying to do a lot of maneuvering at night, that's great for safety, for one, but also just as I'm maneuvering, I can see low-hanging tree branches, etc. But that holds all that perfectly well. The under seat storage here normally is where I keep the battery, and that battery works perfectly fine where it's at. It does have more area. You can put more stuff there. I usually only put the battery there because back here, I usually have a cooler behind my crate. My crate is a 6-rod holder one by Wilderness Systems. And I have lots of times tackle boxes under there. If I'm not bringing the crate, I have my tackle boxes under here. This is my standard rig when I'm going dual bass and cat fishing. I usually get out on the lake early enough to do some bass fishing for a couple hours, and then I stay out late to do some cat fishing. And in this, up at the front, I have my 360 camera mounted. Here I have 2 pole mounts. I also added this. That's another pole, and I like that, especially when I'm bringing my Garmin if I'm fishing really deep. My chair, I have all my accoutrements in here. As you'll notice, I have this attached like this because I've lost a couple of these trying to get it out of the catfish mouth, and it wouldn't let go and shook and fell off. Then I have some scissors and pliers, obviously standard stuff. In here I have a cutting board for bait. You'll also notice that I have this right here. These are, they raise the chair up by about 2 inches. It raises the front part of the chair, and then you have the risers in the back of the part of the chair. Some people only want the front, keeps their knees a little bit higher. I always found this kayak was very comfortable no matter what, especially this chair. This chair is amazingly comfortable. But I went ahead and bought these just because I was like, well, I want to do some weekend trips fishing where I'm going to be in the kayak longer than 8 hours. And I thought, well, might help. Frankly, the main reason I like it is because it gives me a lot of extra storage space under the seat. Before I could fit one thing, now I can fit 2 to 3 tackle boxes under there. And that's really good for short trips when I don't want to bring my great big crate in the back, although it's not that hard. It carries all the extra poles, but sometimes I only want a couple of poles, 1 or 2 tackle boxes, so I can just go do some real quick bass or crappie fishing or whatever. But again, this is a 6-year review, and if you look at the kayak, I have some pictures. It looks amazing. It is just amazing. This pedal drive has been spectacular. I've had 2 prop pins break, both when I was on the water. I don't know why it would break not on the water, but the first time it happened, I wasn't sure what happened. Sure enough, I kind of thought that's what it was, but I'd never had a pedal drive. So when I got it home, I looked it up. Sure enough, that's what it was. I ordered additional prop pins. It came with 2 extra prop pins, but I ordered additional ones, and now I keep them in here. This right here, this storage. This is one of the best little storage compartments. It's amazing how much fit in there. I always put my wallet, my car keys in there. It is completely waterproof. Water has come over there like crazy. I can stand on this when it's closed. It doesn't affect it whatsoever. I also have, like I said, wallet, sunglasses. Sometimes I have lures in there, but most of the time it's just the prop pins, the wrench, so I can do it when I'm on the water. And then I have the other stuff. Oh, and also very often I'll have my camera batteries in there, so I don't have to go into the boat. I'll keep my extra 360 battery or GoPro battery, whatever I'm using at the time, and that makes it really nice. The interior of the boat is still looks amazingly great. The exterior of the boat. When I first got the boat, I was like, oh, I don't want to put this on the concrete, so I'd always try to load it from the grass onto the car. And I was very careful. And then all of a sudden I saw this YouTube video where a guy was dragging a kayak behind his truck on a gravel road. And he did it for miles, 2, 3, 5 miles. I don't remember how many miles, but for miles. And considering I'm doing it for inches at a time every time I load and take off, I was like, I'm not going to worry about it anymore. So I got quite a bit of scuffs under there. When I come into the boat ramp, I come in and then I lift my pedal drive up as I'm coming in and it hits. So there's some scuff marks on the front. There's definitely scuff marks on the side. Part of the reason the scuff marks are on the side is I'll lift it as I'm cleaning it, and I just haven't worried about the scuff marks because they're always underneath here. You don't really see them, and frankly, it doesn't affect the fishability of the unit.